Welcome to the Science of Fiction HFY Galaxy Tales. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new story from HFY Galaxy Tales, where humanity always finds a way. The silence breaks asterisk for 1,000 years. Earth was quiet and calm. No wars, no alien threats, just peace. People built cities, sang songs, and told stories of the old wars that no one believed would ever return. The sky was clear, and the stars above were silent. Then one morning, the sky turned black, not with smoke or clouds, but with something massive and cold. A ship, bigger than any mountain, floated above Earth. Its shape was long and dark, like a sword ready to fall. It covered the sun, casting a shadow across cities and oceans. People screamed and ran to shelters. Others stood frozen, staring at the sky. In one of Earth's defense towers, alarms began to ring. The UN Defense Command, once a museum piece, came alive. Old generals who hadn't seen battle in years put on their uniforms. Commander Reese, tall and calm with silver eyes, walked into the control room without a word. The ship didn't fire. It didn't move. It just waited, silent and heavy. Then a deep voice echoed from the sky, reaching every ear, every speaker, every mind on Earth. The voice said only one thing: the 1,000-year peace treaty is over. Prepare to surrender. Silence followed. Then something strange happened. Humans laughed. Not all of them, but many. Soldiers, engineers, and even farmers smiled and shook their heads. In the command room, Reese chuckled and leaned forward, pressing a button to speak. "This is Earth. We do not surrender. If you came to die, you're right on time," he said. The alien voice responded with confusion. It expected fear. Instead, it got jokes and cold warnings. The alien ship began to glow with red lines. It was charging its weapons. Earth's cities prepared to burn. But Earth was not the same as it was 1,000 years ago. It had changed quietly. The UN defense grid, activated. Satellites that had looked like stars moved into attack positions. Invisible walls of energy surrounded the planet. Human fighters, shaped like birds and made of smart metal, launched from hidden hangars under the oceans. The first alien shot fired. It never reached the ground. It hit a shield and vanished like smoke and wind. Then Earth's weapons fired back. Silent blue beams struck the alien ship. Parts of its armor melted like butter in flame. The ship shook and moved back. In their command bridge, the alien leaders panicked. One of them, wearing a crown of metal wires, shouted, "Why didn't our history files warn us of this? These humans were supposed to be simple, weak, afraid." Another alien looked at the screen. It showed humans moving fast, working together like one mind. She whispered, "They are not what we remembered." They were preparing in the dark. On Earth, Commander Reese stood still, watching the alien ship take damage. He didn't blink. His voice was calm when he gave the order: "Disable their weapons. Show them what peace built," he said. Earth's weapons didn't just destroy, they hacked into the alien ship's systems, shutting down their engines and freezing their weapons. The alien crew was trapped inside a sleeping beast. The ship tried to escape, but it couldn't. Human fighters danced around it, ready to strike again. On the ground, people began to cheer. Not because they loved war, but because they were no longer afraid of it. In the alien ship, the commander gasped as every escape route closed. Earth had them in its grip. He shouted, "This isn't possible." They were farmers, poets. Back on Earth, Reese looked up at the dark sky and spoke softly to himself. "We were farmers, but we never forgot how to fight," he said. The battle was not over, but the message was clear. The aliens came to make Earth bow, but Earth stood tall. The silence was broken. The 1,000-year peace was gone. But something stronger had taken its place. Earth's laughter *, the war they didn't expect *, the sky above. Earth was no longer dark. The giant alien ship floated like a broken statue, silent and wounded. Human fighters circled it like hawks. Below, the world watched with steady eyes. No one ran, no one begged. The war had started, but humans were not afraid. In the alien ship, Commander Vrielan gripped the sides of his control chair. Sparks flew from broken panels. Warning lights flashed red. His crew shouted in panic. He slammed his fist down and roared, "How are they doing this? We are Zelari. We ruled the stars before they walked upright." But Earth was not the same Earth from the old stories. After the Great Treaty, humans had built more than cities. They had built secrets. Under every ocean, inside every mountain, and even beneath the forests. They had prepared. The UN defense grid was not just defense, it was a living network, run by quantum mines and hidden satellites. These machines had trained in silence. They had watched every signal in the galaxy. They knew the Zelari were coming long before the ship arrived. Commander Reese stood in the global war room, looking at the floating enemy. His officers waited for his command. But Reese didn't speak. He walked to the wall and tapped a screen. A map of the Zelari fleet appeared, glowing red. They sent 20 more ships. All heading for Earth, Reese said. The room didn't panic. Instead, human teams activated phase cloaks. Hundreds of tiny drones vanished from view. They flew toward space, fast and invisible. Within seconds, Earth's secret weapons moved into place. In deep space, the rest of the Zelari fleet entered Earth's system. They expected to see their flagship in control. Instead, they saw it bleeding smoke and floating, helpless. One ship, Captain asked, "Is this a trap?" It was. Earth's cloaked drones cut through space and hit the enemy from all sides. Zelari shields failed. Their armor cracked. Their communication systems went silent. Ships began to fall before they could even lock targets. The humans didn't attack wildly, they struck with perfect aim. The Zelari never trained for this. They thought Earth was soft, full of art and dreams. But Earth had turned peace into power. For 1,000 years, humans studied, trained, and planned. They had turned every lesson of war into a quiet weapon. On the ground, something even stranger happened. Zelari drop pods landed in a small city. They expected to meet weak civilians. Instead, they met teenagers with neural implants. Young humans with speed, strength, and strange glowing eyes. These were not normal children. They were guardians. The aliens charged with plasma blades. The humans moved faster. They used traps, tricks, and teamwork. One alien shouted, "They move like trained warriors." A girl with short hair and metal gloves replied, "We are, and you're in our home now," she said. The battle didn't last long. The Zelari ground troops were pushed back. They left their weapons and ran toward their pods. Some never made it. Earth had taught its children well. Every citizen was trained. Every street had defenses. Back in orbit, the remaining Zelari ships turned to retreat. But Reese was already ahead of them. He sent a signal to a stealth cruiser hiding behind the moon. The ship, called Nightwind, moved into pursuit. Inside Nightwind, Captain Lane smiled as she locked on to the enemy. "They thought we forgot how to fight," she said. On the alien command ship, Vrielon watched his screens go black. Earth had cut his vision. His voice trembled. "This wasn't supposed to happen. We studied their culture, their weakness." Another officer whispered, "They knew. They were waiting," he said. Commander Reese stood before the war table, silent. His officers smiled. They had waited 1,000 years to show what peace had built, and now the galaxy would see the truth. Earth didn't fear war anymore. Laughing into victory *, the last Zelari warship fled through the black void of space. Its engines sparked, its hull burned, and its crew sat in silence. They had come to crush Earth, but now they were running. They didn't understand what had gone wrong. They didn't understand how humans had laughed at war. Commander Vrielon stared at the stars ahead, trying to escape the shame behind him. His soldiers were quiet. Their eyes, once proud, now held fear. He whispered, "We must return home and warn the Queen. Earth is not what we believed," he said. But Earth wasn't done. High above the Zelari ship, hidden in a curtain of black energy, Earth's stealth cruiser Nightwind followed in silence. It was invisible, quiet, and deadly. On board, Captain Lane watched the enemy with calm eyes. "They're not getting away. They declared this war. We're just ending it," she said. The humans let the ship lead them home. They wanted the Zelari to bring them straight to the capital world, and that's exactly what happened. Hours later, the wounded warship entered Zelari space. Huge towers, glowing red, stood tall above a silver planet. The Queen waited inside her throne room, surrounded by nobles and warlords. When Vrielon arrived, he bowed low and fell to his knees. His voice was weak. "My Queen, we were wrong," he said. She narrowed her sharp black eyes and spoke coldly. "Did you bring me victory?" He shook his head. "No. I brought a warning," he said. Suddenly, the chamber lights blinked. An alarm rang. A ship had entered Zelari orbit. It wasn't theirs. It was human. Guards rushed to defend the palace, but it was too late. A single human dropship landed outside the throne room. From it walked Commander Reese, wearing black armor that shimmered like glass. He entered calmly, not as a guest, not as a threat, but as someone in control. The queen stood from her throne. "You dare come here alone?" she asked. Rhys looked around the room. "I'm not alone," he said. Behind him, holograms lit up across the walls. Dozens of Earth's ships were floating outside the Zalari system, ready to act. Yet none fired. None destroyed. Rhys had come for something different. "We don't want to rule you. We don't want your worlds," he said, walking forward. "Then, why follow us here?" the queen asked. Rhys stopped in front of her. "To show you what peace truly built," he said. He told her everything. How humans had united after the last war. How they had turned their minds, hearts, and hands toward quiet strength. While the galaxy slept, Earth trained. Not just soldiers, but every citizen, not just weapons, but minds. Not just survival but unity. The queen listened, her pride breaking with each word. She asked softly, "Why did your people laugh when we declared war?" Rhys smiled. "Because war didn't scare us. We prepared in peace so well. War became the easy part," he said. The room went silent. Even the guards lowered their weapons. For the first time in centuries, the Zalari were not feared. They were humbled. Rhys extended a small crystal toward the queen. It glowed blue and pulsed gently. "A new treaty," he said. She reached out and took it. Her fingers trembled. "Will it last another 1,000 years?" Rhys looked her in the eye. "That depends on who laughs next," he said. Back on Earth, people watched the news. Children played in the streets. Old veterans smiled in quiet pride. The stars were safe again, not because Earth had stronger weapons, but because Earth had become wiser. They had turned fear into focus. They had turned silence into strength. And when war finally came, they met it not with terror, but with laughter. Not because war was funny but because Earth had already won.